So, namaste everyone. I welcome you all to this Global Yoga Festival. Myself, Mansi Muke, and I am connected to Swasti from last 1.5 year, and I am a level 2 certificate from Ayush Ministry. And so, Swasti Yoga Center once again welcomes you all for this Global Yoga Festival. And we are, as we all know, we are celebrating 75 years of India's independence. So we are launching a year-long celebration from August 2021 to commemorate 75 years of independence with a slew of programs for global audience encouraging yoga for health and well-being. So basically, how our freedom fighters used yoga in their life to, give freedom to us, and how to inculcate those really great practices in their personal life. So we have this with the concept of that. So it is also under the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Everyone should be enlightened and everyone should be given the wisdom. So now we in this Global Yoga Festival, we have 50 plus topics, 75 programs, workshops, 50 plus speakers, and 30 plus countries. So keep joining in for this. So for today's session, it's a really unique session. It is before introducing the speaker for today, I'll just give a brief introduction about her. So she's Garima Gupta Kapila, and she'll be talking about Swasth Journey of IITians into public health. This is really a diverse topic, and really needed not only in the field of IIT, but in every field who are working and who are leading a stressful life should go for this session. It's a really useful session. Now about the speaker, I would like to say that she serves as a trustee of Swasth Foundation and has been serving in an executive capacity since 2012. She founded Swasth Yoga Institute in 2017 with vision for all to live fully and freely. Today, SYI has delivered 50,000 person hours of well-being services delivered to 15,000 plus people with a 4.7 star satisfaction. Wow. And 50% reduction in health issues. So SYI is creating a new cadre of integrative health professionals named Swasth Yoga coaches, committed to health and joy for all. So in doing this work, Garima integrates her education and work experience till date, computer science and engineering from IIT Delhi, management consultancy at McKinsey and Company. So she is a senior manager and her senior management roles at non-profits such as Tech for India and Swasth Foundation. So additional certifications of her includes MSc Yoga and a postgraduate diploma in yoga therapy from S. Vyasa Yoga University. So professional certified coach, PCC from ICF, and integral somatic psychology, ISP. She has also a scholar in plant-based nutrition, Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. And Garima has commenced her journey in research as a lawn scholar with Harvard School of Public Health and continues to learn through courses and most importantly through life. Wow, such a great integration of knowledge over here today we have. So I welcome Garima Gupta ji to please take over the session and share your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you, Dr. Vikas and Shweta. I want to start with just congratulating all of you at Swasti for what I was telling Dr. Vikas this morning. It's just such a tap that you're conducting, for a year, every week, every weekend, committing to get people from across the country, across the world. I really think it shows your dedication to this work. So I want to congratulate you for that. And thank you also for this opportunity to share a little bit about what we do here at Swasth. So I'm going to start with just inviting everyone to take a few moments just to ground ourselves, to center ourselves. So Wherever we are, if you can just take a few moments to, if you're sitting on a chair, make sure your feet are planted on the floor. You can feel your feet in contact with the floor. If you're sitting cross-legged, just making sure your back is straight. Connecting to your breath. Breathing in fully. Exhaling completely. We'll do a few rounds of Bhramari humming without the Shanmukhi Mudra, with your hands down, rested down. We'll just make the humming sound a couple of times. Breathing in. One last time. Keeping your eyes closed, let your breath settle down. Let your heartbeat settle down. And also your mind. And from this place of inner silence, just take a moment to connect to your intention for coming here. And in service of that intention, I'll say a few lines, which is typically not said as an opening prayer, but I'll request you to just absorb the energy of these words with me. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Man Mukur Sudhari Varnau Raghvar Bimal Jasu Jodayak Phalchari बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु हे हर हो कलेस बेकार. May our life be a loving seva to Ishwar, to purify our mind and to rest in our swa. And slowly come back, open your eyes whenever you feel ready. Okay. So I'm going to take a moment to briefly talk about our work at Swasth Foundation. And then I will come to the topic that Dr. Vikas has suggested to me for today. But let me start a little bit with our work at Swasth. So this logo that you see here, that represents that's the logo of Swasth Foundation, and it represents our vision, which is health and joy for all. The mission that we're working towards is to build an integrated health ecosystem. And we're doing that through three verticals. action, research, and training. So our action vertical is around designing and demonstrating service delivery models at all levels of a health ecosystem. So primary care, secondary care, tertiary care, healthcare, wellness, all of that. So designing and delivering some of these services. The research vertical, which is very nascent right now, is around generating and disseminating evidence so that these models can then get adopted in India and globally. And finally, our training vertical is around building a cadre of integrative health professionals who can deliver these services, again, in India and across the world. So this is what we're doing, integrated health ecosystem through action, research, and training. And actually, interestingly, the acronym for all of these, they combine to make IHEART, IHEART, which is also in some ways a depiction of the logo here. There is an I, which is the individual I, and the collective I also, and all within the heart, which is from where I think our deepest wisdom emerges from, our spiritual heart. So I'm going to take a few moments to show visually what is it that we're doing. So I'm going to play a short video that gives an overview of our work. Please let me know if the sound is not audible for any reason.
Defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. At Swasth Foundation, our mission is to build a sustainable ecosystem that provides convenient access to high-quality, affordable, and accountable health services to the urban poor at scale. Our vision of health and joy for all makes our approach holistic, covering all aspects of healthcare and well-being. We currently have 3 programs addressing specific issues in the health system holistically. The first is a network of neighborhood clinics called Swasth India Medical Centers. These clinics provide patient-centric, high-quality primary care services in family medicine and dentistry at half the market rates to the urban poor. We operate more than 30 such clinics in Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Each neighborhood clinic is a one-stop shop that treats infectious diseases like fever, malaria, dengue, and also chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes. The clinic also performs dental procedures, from extractions and root canals to oral surgeries and dentures. Our clinics offer innovations that are the first of their kind in the healthcare space, such as the lowest price guarantee and reporting time guarantee on pathology lab services, 3 years warranty on dental treatments, and a safety warranty on family health treatments. Each of these is an enforceable quality assurance designed to deliver a patient-centric experience. Our wellness venture, the Swasth Yoga Institute, aims to build a cadre of professionally certified health coaches focused on restoring the original state of well-being in all. The first offering of the Swasth Yoga Institute is a certification program for community health coaches. The curriculum is based on research that harmonizes the knowledge of the West with the wisdom of the East. Anand Alay is a network of wellness centers run by community health coaches trained by the Swasth Yoga Institute. Community health coaches empower the community to take charge of their own health. They conduct group workshops on well-being and follow it up with individualized coaching sessions. At Swasth, our impact and outcome metrics reflect our commitment to delivering high-quality, patient-centric, and affordable services at scale to the urban poor. To date, we have served over 1 million patients across our programs. At Swasth Foundation, we aim for all to be in self and experience health and joy. This is reflected in our motto, Swasth Raho, Anandit Raho. Our values guide us on our journey towards our mission. Our journey has just begun.
So that gives a little bit of an overview of Swasth. And as the video says, our journey has just begun. From the time that we actually made this video, also a lot has changed. And I think that's the nature of life. Change is the only constant. But what I've been asked by Dr. Vikas to speak about today is actually a little bit of my journey. So I can go on for Swasth forever. But I think that the tougher one is to speak a little bit about my journey, because I think it's not yet complete. It's still work in progress. I don't know what chapter of the journey I'm on. So I think that's a little bit harder for me, but I'm going to attempt to do that, I think, from the purpose of just sharing whatever learnings that I've had so far. So I'm also going to share how is it that I thought we could structure and how our time together could flow. As a consultant, as an engineer, structure is important. So I'll share a little bit of the structure that I had. So if I was to say I think biggest, the summary of entire journey that I've taken on so far has been from doing yoga to actually saying what does it mean to be in yoga, in the state of yoga. And how I hope to share this journey is I'm going to share some learnings from nature, because that is where I think a lot of learnings come from here. I believe the universe and universal consciousness speaks to us through nature. I'm also going to share how I have learned from life, again, which is the biggest learning ground, more than any course one can undertake. I will attempt to share some crystallization, some key learnings that I've had on yoga, and also how we've been trying to apply that at Swasth. And then we will end with a call to action, what each of us can do in our own way towards this integrative health ecosystem. So on that, I'm going to start with the first chapter of this present life, which is the journey from basically planting a seed. And if you see in nature, a seed has immense potential. A seed can become a tree, and that tree in turn can give rise to so many trees through its fruits. So basically, a seed contains a forest in itself. But also, to unlock this potential, a lot of struggle is required. The seed has to decide, I'm going to break through out of my shell, and it has to undertake a long, arduous journey. So I will share a little bit of how my seed was planted. The context, right after completing engineering from IIT, I recognized that, while I had theoretical knowledge, I had no practical understanding of how the world works. So I wanted to get practical understanding. And for that, I decided to join management consultant, become a management consultant at McKinsey & Company. It was also one of the most coveted jobs, on our campus. And so it was an easy decision, I think, for me to join that, where there was a lot of opportunity to learn, to do work across sectors. So this is a broad context. The challenge that I actually faced, and this challenge came within a year and a half of being a management consultant, is that I suddenly had an unexplained severe back pain that radiated to my arms, to my legs, and whatever I did, sitting, standing, lying, nothing just worked. It went on for a while. I started, instead of working from the office, I had to work from a hotel, and then even that was not possible. And this was a challenge I faced. Everything was going well. And the typical solution that I tried is I tried all kinds of treatments. The first was obviously to go to an allopathic doctor, take those x-rays, all of that. That didn't work. Then I tried yoga also, and actually that also didn't work for me. I tried Ayurvedic treatments, massages, hypnotherapy, acupuncture. All of those would give me some relief, but the pain would come back. And I think left with no choice, I was told about a place of Bangalore, Estasa University, to get admitted as a patient in their yoga hospital. And that is where I found the internal solution. At that campus, Prashanti Kutiram, I actually learned what is yoga, not yoga, which is being done by people these days, and which is what I was also doing. I was just doing physical movements. I understood what are the different dimensions of our being, and I understood that the root cause of any ailment is that we have lost connection to ourselves. And the fact that Swasth itself, the word Swasth is Swa plus Tha. So Swa meaning myself and Stha meaning to be established in. And so the solution was not to do many different things, but just to be established in myself. And when I started, someone asked me, our coach over there asked me, what is it that you've done in your life? When have you been the happiest? Which is basically, now in hindsight, when I look back, she was asking me about when have I been in touch with Anandamai Kosh in some ways. When have I been the happiest in my life? And then I figured that actually in the year and a half, I had done work across sectors, but I had been the happiest when I was doing work in the social sector, working with organizations, people, departments that had less resources. And so with that clarity, I decided, while being at that institution, I decided to make that phone call one day to our partner and tell him that I am going to move out of the corporate sector. I'm going to move into the social sector. That makes me happy. Obviously, I had no idea what I'm going to do, but the clarity had come. And I think that was for me the point of struggle, just deciding this is the clarity that has come from within. I don't know the road ahead, but that's what I will do. And interestingly, the universe, I think, also just supported me. Once I made that intention clear, actually, at our own management consulting firm, we started a social sector practice where I got to be a part of it for the next year and a half and build out the social sector practice also at McKinsey. In all of this, I think one of the biggest things that I learned, my learning was on Gyan Yoga. And why I say Gyan Yoga? Because I also think that's a stage in life. It was my first job. So all our studies and the whole, the first phase of our lives, in the four varnas, like the first phase is around, learning. And I had been trying to learn different sectors. How does metallurgy work and how does financial sector work? And I actually figured and I understood through this that Gyan Yoga, the real knowledge, is to know myself. I felt that I was learning about other sectors, but I did not know myself. I did not understand that the work that I was doing, it was great, but it was just not aligned with who I was. And it was that lack of alignment that had led to my back not being aligned, which had led to my back pain. And if I could just know myself and be myself, then obviously the back pain, I think that goes without saying, the back pain disappeared the day, I made that intention clear. And it has not come back since. It only came back a few months ago when it had another message to give to me where I was not in alignment. But yeah, and that's what I learned, that Gyan Yoga is actually about knowing ourselves. Everything is within ourselves. And this process then led me to also have some external learnings. Through this process, being at McKinsey in the social sector practice, I learned about health shocks in India. I learned that health shocks are the single biggest cause of impoverishment. Every year, 60 million people, and this was 10 years ago, go below poverty line because of a health event in their family. They need to sell off their assets. And that is what nullifies most of the efforts that the government and so many nonprofits are trying to make to get people above the poverty line. Most of them end up falling back. I also learned in this next 1.5 years of working with nonprofits that while there were people with a lot of good intentions, at that point of time in 2007, 2008, the social sector did not have good, educated talent. We had people with the best of the hearts, but the best minds were not joining it. And that is what led me to my next step, which is to join a nonprofit. At this point of time, I also want to share that my partner, who had been also co-building the social sector practice alongside and is also here today, Sundeep, he actually decided that he is going to make, work towards health shocks, make that, make an impact on that. And he actually started Swasth. I felt that I still needed more time. I was still a seed, still sprouting. And so I will now share what is the next stage of the journey that I undertook. So as a plant, I needed a conducive external environment around me, young plant, so we sometimes cover it from all sides. And so what I decided to do next was to join a nonprofit called Teach for India, which was just starting up around that time. I was one of 5 people on the team. And over the next 3 years, I got to learn a lot. I got to learn and build something from scratch, going into slums, speaking to parents, speaking to school principals, trying to figure out how to do this, and eventually coming to a place where we had a huge team. 3 years later, we were like 200 of us in Bombay working towards solving inequity in education. And again, a lot of learning, but challenge had to come. Life says, there's nothing constant. And so the challenge that came is, in the middle of all of this, I had an unexplained emotional low. I could not understand what was happening. I was at a place where I actually had the best minds and the best hearts, people who had given up their corporate careers, hundreds of them like me. And I still could not understand why I would be in a meeting and suddenly feel low and suddenly had to cry at the end to come out. And I didn't understand what was happening. And so what I tried, the typical challenge, what I tried is, what is this external mission? Our mission was, to solve for educational inequity. So I thought maybe we're doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not happy with the team. We need to change things. I kept trying, but it just, this low of emotional low would not get away. And that again forced me to say, I have to try something new. And so the internal solution that I actually found was, I had been trying to solve for an external problem, but what I had to do was to solve it internally, to be the change. I was in education sector at that point of time, trying to teach others what is education, excellent education. And I figured that I had actually myself not learned what life is about. So I myself had to take my own learning journey. And that is what I decided to undertake. So I moved out from Teach for India. Excellent organization. It continues to do some fantastic work, but I realized that I need to do my own learning. So for the next 6 months, I charted my learning journey, traveling across the country, sometimes by train, sometimes by bus, sometimes by flight, but really seeing what happens on the ground in the real India. And more importantly, I started my internal journey. Spirituality had just been a word. I had someone, if someone was to ask me, what do you think about God? I would say, I haven't had the time to think about it. And so now I had all the time. I had 6 months. So that's when I decided to Vipassana happened, meditation happened, other experiences happened. And I learned through this experience. This learning also continued. 6 months was when I was full-time dedicated. It continued over the next couple of years. But my learning there was around Karma Yoga. That work is seva, to purify the mind and to be sthit in ourselves. I recognized that what I had been doing, I was in the social sector doing work that I loved. And so I should have been happy. But the seva that I was doing, the intention for it was to change other people. It was not to work on myself. And that's why that emotional low had come. And when I decided to turn the lens inwards and to say it is for myself, to be the change, to purify my mind, then that emotional low, again, like my back pain, at a subtle level, the emotional pain went away. And to be sthit in myself, to be more and more established in myself. I think this was also a time when I was evaluating, leaving it all. What's the point of doing anything? And so I also recognize that work is important. Jo bolte hain na that karm karna bhi hamari zimmedari. It is important to do our work. And work became my lab to become sthit in myself. At an external level, what I learned through this is I actually undertook a series of experiences, courses, workshops, etc., to understand my body, energy, mind, and emotions. So all of those, degrees, etc., that Mansi was listing out, I think that was done with the intention of finding out, if I have to be established in myself, I need to understand myself. I need to understand yogic ahar, how does food nourish me? I need to understand Vyayam better, Vichar, how do I work with my mind? And Vigyan, the philosophy of life, I need to understand that. So that is the learning journey that ensued, started in 2011 and continued for the next couple of years into my next Karam Bhumi, which was to come to Swasth, which brings me to my third chapter. The plant now had to start becoming a tree. And if we see a tree, if you think of a plant, it's in a pot. And a plant in a pot can never become a tree. Even if it becomes a bonsai tree, it's going to be stunted, right? So for it to reach its full growth, it has to be taken out into a bigger field. And that's what I think Swasth offered to me, a field where I could try different things and start to actually deepen my roots, because deeper roots would give me more stability. A tree has roots that are extending far deeper than what we see on the surface. And that is what gives the real stability to the tree and height to the tree. In my mind, that's the best example of being the change. The tree is deepening its roots, and from there it can do something externally. So at Swasth, I continue to work, and take on many different roles at Swasth and take out time for my learning journey alongside. But again, there was a challenge that started coming, that I felt that I'm not reaching my internal potential. I felt I had potential for a lot more. And also externally, we started realizing that even though externally in terms of metrics for success, number of patients impacted, all of that, we were doing really well, something was not clicking for us externally and internally also. And so what was my solution to it? To try out different things, to keep trying to change myself, ye kiya, try something else, try different projects, change team members, maybe this team member is not helping us get to our potential. So just trying different things. And I think, as you would have figured the pattern by now, these solutions didn't help. And again, I was at a low point. Again, I was at a place, and I remembered that today, that we were in Ahmedabad, and I was conducting, training of staff for 1 month. I think I was in Ahmedabad. And that was such a high point for us as an organization, that we are taking our model to another city. But for me, it was actually, again, a big low point. And I couldn't again reconcile this misalignment, this misharmony, and this lack of yoga. And what I understood then is the internal solution was actually now to harmonize all aspects of myself. I had started understanding different things, but what was missing is I was changing. I was going from one identity to another. Engineer, then management consultant, then development sector consultant, professional, then within that, one project, two projects. But what I recognized was the time had now come to bring together all of my learnings. To say I'm not an engineer turned lawyer, consultant turned XYZ, but I am actually all of those. And how can I bring together my personal life, which was a life of trying to live in yoga, to be in yoga, and how can I also integrate that with my external life? So that is what I understood. What it led me to led me to start Swasth Yoga Institute, which started in 2017. It started with it was a yoga class. Actually, it wasn't even an institute. It started with a class called Harmony Yoga class. Harmony was a word that came to be in my meditation, guided meditation, and I recognized later that harmony is yoga. So that guidance, that just one word got me to say, let's start something. Again, I don't know. I just announced a class to our staff, and they signed up. So I had no choice, that I have to do the class also. By that time, I had become a yoga instructor, yoga, therapist, all of that also. So I started this yoga class, Harmony Yoga class, which then became Swasth Yoga Institute. What did I learn? What did I learn through this process of being at Swasth? I learned about Raj Yoga. And I think those of us who have read the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras would know the first verse is Atha Yoga Anushasana. And I believe that the first verse itself, if we can embody, that itself is everything that we need for life. So Ath meaning the present moment, Yog meaning harmony, alignment, and Anushasan, which is discipline, but not the external discipline. It's something that comes from within. What I learned in Raj Yoga is Raj Yoga to me was now actually about being in the Ath, to be in the present moment, and to do whatever life is giving to us, to do it with Anushasan, to pause and to question, but not to stop doing, to keep doing, to keep questioning, to keep asking, and to keep doing. And if I had not been an engineer, been a management consultant, tried out all of those different things, which were the demand of the earth, today I know I would not be here at the Swasth Yoga Institute, because that's where all the different learnings that I've had are actually coming together. So my life, and I believe that is the nature of life itself. It's not moving from one to another. We think we're moving, but actually we're bringing all of those. Those are the sanskaras in some ways also that come within us. And that is what I understood, that I'm not X turned Y, I am all of those. And when I put all the puzzle pieces together, then that clarity on life comes naturally. So the external result of this experience was an external venture, which was now aligned to my internal purpose. I actually felt that harmonization had happened. My internal purpose and what I was doing externally were truly aligned. And now comes the next phase, which is the phase I'm currently in. So it is the messiest phase. Here is where I'm the most unclear of the learnings. And you will also see in the way I presented, I'm not sure about the learnings because I'm still learning. So I'm in the middle of it. But I will attempt to share what I have learned and I'm learning so far. What I'm learning now is about ecosystems. An ecosystem is not what we do these days in agriculture. Is a practice of monocropping, just one crop, duplicate one after another, fields and fields. That's not how forests work. That's not how nature works. Ecosystems have many entities. Each entity has a different role. It has a different journey. But obviously, I had to learn it the hard way. I tried, and I'll show how I tried to do the same monoculture, monocropping pattern, replicate the corporate way of doing things. So at Swasth Yoga Institute, where I've been within Swasth since 2017 till now, the challenge that I have been working with is to balance the quality and quantity, depth and scale. And there's one part of me which says just do small, but make it better. I keep improving. We keep improving the content. It's been 5 years. We're still revising the old PPTs. And there's another part that says, how can we reach out to more people also? And so that's been a challenge, trying to balance the two. What I've tried typically is the corporatish growth. Have one model, try to replicate one health center, tuck, copy paste, control C, control V. And that has not worked. I tried to do that with our health coaches, trying to have one journey, trying to do that with our participants, one mega journey, everyone does it. And then I understood it didn't work. It didn't work. Yes, we got great results, 50% reduction in health symptoms, but 50% for me is not enough for high achievers. They want more. And so what did I learn? I have learned, and I'm still learning this, is how do I redefine growth? How do I redefine excellence? For me, excellence used to be perfection. And I think Kamal auntie here in the audience has heard this before. We did this in a course, that excellence for me used to be perfection. And that perfection has helped me, but it has also given me a lot of stress because I'm constantly seeing what's broken, constantly. And now I'm recognizing that excellence comes when I'm sthit in my swa. When I am established in myself, when I am in joy, that leads to excellence. Actually, an example of it is this presentation that Vikas asked me to do. I was struggling with it. I was like, what am I going to say? I don't know anything to say about my own life. And I kept thinking, so this was told to me 3 months before the session happened. And till 1 week before, I had zero, like my slides were blank. And so then obviously they started emailing saying, where is your PPT? And I was like, okay, I better get to it because I'm thinking. And I was just not understanding. What do I share? But I actually then went for a walk. I went to a temple, grounded, meditated, sat in nature. I spent 2 hours without any agenda. And then I just started looking at nature. And then when I started looking at, when I could be in touch with myself in the present moment, not trying to think of this presentation 7 days later. It just came to me. In half an hour, I had the entire flow on this smaller piece of paper I was carrying. And that's how I think, and that is what I'm understanding. That's where excellence comes from, to be established in ourselves, to be in joy, and the rest will follow. So from this internal solution, what it's leading me to, we're still figuring this out, but to say that we don't have to do a copy-paste model. We have to work like ecosystems, recognize each person has their own unique nature, their own unique thing to contribute. And so what we're trying to do with learning journeys, for our participants also is to now have diverse offerings for them. Yes, we retain a common experience. Our common experience is swasthya, around understanding true well-being, around swaraj, taking charge of our health, physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and sahaparivar, around building a community. But within this, we now have a lot of different offerings. So for someone who wants to work with Vyayam, their physical health, work with the energy system, body system, there's one offering. Someone for whom who wants to understand what's the message of the Upanishads, that is their offering. So different people, someone may want to work through food. So it's like to climb a mountain, there is not one path basically. You can enter it from anything, and that's what the beauty of yoga is. Yoga is not yoga. It is about coming into union, and we have many paths. And that's what we are trying to do here, to create many offerings for people. And hopefully we will create many such paths for coaches also, where each can find their own way of coming into and of being a part of that ecosystem, their own learning journey. So what am I learning? I'm learning now about Bhakti Yoga. I'm learning how to love all, to serve all, and that comes when I recognize the divinity in all. If I'm blindly pushing people and saying, here is the goal, why aren't you getting it? Why aren't you getting it? It doesn't work. But if I recognize each person has their own unique journey, their own time to get to that place also, then that enables me to work with people with love. And then the excessive demands of perfection automatically go down. But it also has to start with love for myself, because I have to accept myself also with all my flaws. I had to accept today that I don't come from any lineage of yoga. I don't have gurus of enlightened masters whom I've lived with. But can I accept that with all my limitations also I have something to offer? And that is what has given me the strength to come here today. And so recognizing my own divinity and that of others also is what I have understood around Bhakti Yoga. As a result, I think, as I shared, we are now trying to create unique learning journeys for participants and for coaches also. Which brings me to the next leg, which is around how some of these learnings we are trying to implement them at the organization also of Swasth. So here are some ways in which we are trying to embody these in Swasth. Gyan Yoga, which is self-knowledge. We are trying to get people to outsource their health, their well-being to a third party. No animal needs to go to a nutritionist to ask what to eat. So no human being should. If we rely on our own instincts, if we can quieten our mind, we know what is the right thing for us. So likewise, how do we listen to our body signals? How do we listen to ourselves, our emotions, and take charge of health? We are trying to flip the healthcare system pyramid. So I'm going to stop the screen share here. And we're trying to make home as the first and the most important point of care. So healthcare systems are typically structured like a pyramid. You have at the bottom, you have primary care. It gets the least attention. Then you have secondary care. Then you have tertiary care, super specialized hospitals. Even in COVID, we saw the entire focus was on this minimal, less number of hospitals. How do we get oxygen? How do we get all of that? Which was important. But the fact is, we are ignoring the base. If primary care is strong, then secondary care is not needed. Secondary care is very resource intensive. We don't need millions of MDs and specialized people. If we can do more work at the primary care level, and then below that at the preventive care level, which is what yoga is about. So actually saying, can we stop looking at this pyramid and this base of the pyramid? Can we actually even flip it, turn it upside down, and make the first point of care not a hospital, not even a doctor, not even a yoga teacher, I would say. Make your home the first point of care. Your kitchen is a pharmacy. The way we work with our emotions, that is our therapist. We don't need anything else. That is what yoga was about. Each person could do it by themselves. They didn't need any money. All you needed was a little bit of that yoga mat equivalent of space. You don't even need a mat. So that is what we are trying to do at Swasth also. Work to get health into the homes of people, to empower people. And I'm very happy to share right now, we're in the middle of conducting a batch with people from low-income communities, which was supposed to be offline. We were supposed to do it offline, but the third wave started. And we said, what do? We said, let's take it online. And now the children of parents, they're teaching them how, because the children now know how to use Zoom. So the children are teaching the parents, and the parents are joining the session. They are doing yoga from their homes and taking care of their well-being. So that's what we try to do at our work at yoga in our clinics. What we try to do is empower people with all the information that they need about their health. Right from, if there is a service that I'm getting, here's the charge, here's the amount of time it will take, what are their rights, trying to empower them with their rights at every single level. I'll come now to how we're trying to do Karma Yoga Seva. So we're trying to get all to be able to access their health services without any financial barriers. So for all our yoga services, we have a donate as you wish model. People can donate whatever they wish, which is also 0 rupees. Because actually in the 0 rupees, what they're donating is their time. Time is the most precious resource. They're donating their trust to us. So we have tried to separate out the payment from the service. Anyone who wishes to access the service can come in. Likewise, at our clinics, you can get 1 month of medicines, everything, whatever is the number of medicines you take for 10 rupees. And if someone can't afford that, then that also, we waive that off. So again, trying to see that, trust the universe. The funds will come in their own way, and they do, and they have. And if they're not coming, then it also means that the scale that we have right now is what is the right scale. We don't need to aspire to grow more. So that is what's imposing the natural limit of growth for us also, not a limit that the mind would try to impose. On Raj Yoga, the spirit of Anushasan, what we try to do is Anushasan. So how do we enable participants to implement their learnings on an ongoing basis? So supporting them with whatever it takes. If it means that they get lots of videos so that they can do their practice by themselves, someone check in with them, whatever is required to help them to implement the learnings. If someone says, I'm not able to take out time, then we have a conversation. We support them to help them to implement the learnings that they're having. In our clinics also, we have what is called an Anushasan card. So support people in taking their medicines in time. Today, high blood pressure, hypertension is the single biggest cause of death. And, yes, we have low diagnosis, low treatment rates, but most importantly, people are not taking their medicines. So we're trying to create systems so that we can enable people to bring Anushasan into the smallest aspects of their life and take charge of their life. Likewise, Anushasan by our coaches is very important. So we try to have very standard, high quality delivery by the coaches, standardized session plans, videos, audio visuals, a lot of tools that they can use while bringing in their unique self also. Not a copy-paste approach, a tool that supports them, but they can bring in their own unique self also in the way they deliver that. So that is Raj Yoga at Swasth. Bhakti Yoga is, this has been a hard one for me. It has been actually trying to embrace the West. So when I moved from, into yoga and understanding the beauty of our Indian traditional systems, I entered a phase where I was honestly fighting the whole allopathic system. I was like, what's the point of all of this? We don't need medicines. And I've recognized now the fact is, as beautiful as yoga, Ayurveda, traditional sciences are, the fact is that today health is not our natural state for most of the people. And if we did not have the medicines that allopathy provides to manage our high blood pressure, to manage diabetes and a lot of chronic ailments, people would not be able to function. So we're recognizing at Swasth that allopathy and traditional sciences both come together. They all also have to find integration also. So that's what we are trying to do. We have our clinics that provide allopathic services. They also provide traditional services. And in our yoga services, also we encourage people, get tested, go to a doctor, take the medicine, but don't stop there. So we say, get tested, find out if you need a medicine. Don't stop there. Come to step 3, heal yourself. So your medicine is to help you manage your symptoms. Now you take charge of your health, manage your own health, and slowly then test again. As your parameters go down, then you titrate your medicine. Then you go back, heal yourself. So that is our integrated care cycle where all these 3 things come together. I'm going to give you a little bit of a flavor of what are some of the offerings we have for well-being. There's something called Sanjeevani Jagruti that enables people to work on their immunity, reverse ailments. We've had many participants who have reversed many health issues, not just diabetes and blood pressure. Working on food, their mind and emotions, and personal consultations, fortnightly events for our alumni, spaces where they can come, do their Vyayam daily, if not physically, at least virtually, meet each other, health talks. These are some of the offerings. The key catalyst, this is the last part that I'm entering into, to build out this integrative health system is professionals called Swasth Yoga coaches, which is what we're now trying to build. So Swasth Yoga coaches, Swasth is referring to someone who works with that core goal of getting someone established in their self, of getting people to align their body, energy, mind, emotions. Yoga is around enabling internal and external harmony. So how can I be in harmony with myself and also with my family, with my work, with all the different spheres of life, and also someone who harmonizes the East and the West. If I look as a yoga coach, if I look at someone's blood test report, I should be able to see that and also tell them what health issue they have, what medicines to take. And if I'm a doctor, I should be able to see not only their report, but I should also be able to tell them what is it that they can do to heal themselves. So trying to integrate that. And a coach is someone who builds that empowering relationship, not one of dependence. So if a coach is saying, I have had this participant working for me for 10 years, for 2 years, that's not something to be happy about. That means we have not done our job well, because that person is still coming to us. So coach creates a position, a power, empowers the other person. And what I would like to share is actually, let me pause, and I would like to share the journey of one such person that I have been very privileged to see grow in the Swasth system, who has become an Anand Yoga coach, a Swasth Yoga coach. I'm just going to share a glimpse of her journey and a little bit of institute also.
मेरा नाम माधुरी है। मैं स्वस्थ योग इंस्टीट्यूट में आनंद योग कोच के रूप में जुड़ी हुई हूँ। जो लो इनकम कम्युनिटी के फैमिलीज हैं, 20 में से एक घर हर साल गरीबी रेखा के नीचे जाता है हेल्थ शॉक के कारण। हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन का, दवाइयों का खर्चा इतना ज़्यादा होता है कि लो इनकम कम्युनिटी जो 8-10 हज़ार रुपये हर महीना कमा रहे हैं, उनकी सारी जमा पूंजी उस हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन में खर्च हो जाती है। और अगर आपकी इनकम अच्छी भी है तो भी स्वास्थ्य की प्रॉब्लम हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी समस्या होती है। हमें हमारी बीमारी का रूट कॉज नहीं पता होता और फिर हम अपनी हेल्थ, अपना स्वास्थ्य आउटसोर्स कर देते हैं। हम यहाँ पे कोशिश करते हैं कि हम योग के माध्यम से लोगों को कैसे अपने बीमारियों से छुटकारा दे सकें। 1 महीने से लेकर 3 महीने तक के वेलनेस कोर्सेज करते हैं। तो ये अलग अलग तरीके के कोर्सेज हैं, योगिक व्यायाम, योगिक आहार और संजीवनी, जिसमें ये दोनों का भी कॉम्बिनेशन होता है। उनको सबसे पहले बताते हैं कि कैसे आपका बॉडी, कैसे आपका मन, कैसे ऊर्जा आपकी और कैसे भावना कैसे काम करती है, उसके बारे में उनको पूरा जागरूक करते हैं। फिर उनको पूरा यौगिक तरीके का व्यायाम, एज के हिसाब से, बीमारी के हिसाब से हम उनको वो सिखाते हैं। फिर बताते हैं कि दवाई और आहार, इन दोनों का भी आपके जीवन में क्या महत्व है, वो कैसे काम करते हैं और वो कैसे आपको स्वस्थ रहने में मदद करते हैं। मेरे प्रोग्राम में अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 7,500 लोगों ने अलग अलग इंटरवेंशंस में पार्टिसिपेट किया है और अपनी हेल्थ में इम्प्रूवमेंट पाई है। हाइपरटेंशन लोगों का 54% से भी कम हुआ है। डायबिटीज़, जॉइंट पेन, लोगों के बैक पेन, पीसीओडी, मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल के प्रॉब्लम्स, ऐसी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स के भी सिम्टम्स जो होते हैं उनके रिडक्शन 60% से हुआ है। इससे सिर्फ फिजिकल हेल्थ ही नहीं, लेकिन सोशल, मेंटल, इमोशनल, स्पिरिचुअल हेल्थ पे भी काफ़ी इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है और लोगों ने अपना जीवन आनंदित बनाया है। जबकि ये सॉल्यूशन हमारे पास ही है, हमारे आसपास है, लेकिन उसके परिणाम को बढ़ाना और उसे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों तक लेके जाना ज़रूरी तो है, लेकिन आसान नहीं है। तो अलग अलग प्रोग्राम्स क्रिएट करने के लिए रिसर्च करना, मेरे जैसे और आनंद योग कोचेस बनाना, इसके लिए बहुत तरीके के मटेरियल्स, टूल्स लगेंगे। मेरी आशा यही है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इस काम में जुड़े, इस इनिशिएटिव को सपोर्ट करें और उसके बाद हम इस काम को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों तक लेके जाएं, लोगों को स्वस्थ बनाएं। नहीं, मेरा सपना यही है कि ये हेल्थ, ये स्वास्थ्य सबको मिले और सबके दिल में आनंद हो। ये मेरा सपना है।
So with that, I'm going to come to my last call to action, which is since then we've been able to create many more Anand Yoga coaches, but that's not enough. That's not sufficient. We need many of you. So many people can become Anand Yoga coaches. You can encourage other people, help them enroll. There's a lot to learn on Vyayam, Ahar, Vichar, a lot of skills to learn. How do you teach? How do you train? How do you consult? How do you coach? You can learn holistically, specialized. And this is something that's available and open to all people. So whether one is a yoga instructor, a life coach, doctors, and this is the profile, by the way, of participants that we have currently. We have doctors who have become coaches, life coaches who have become yoga coaches, yoga instructors who have learned this aspect, dietitians, and anyone from any walk of life, such as me. I did not start off as any of these, but I believe, and actually not me, Swami Vivekanandaji, he said that there is a divinity within each of us. So I hope we recognize that in our own way, we do this, start bringing health to ourselves, our families, and to the people around. So I'm going to close with just a note of gratitude to Swasti Yoga Center for giving this opportunity, and also to all these institutions who have supported us every step along the journey. We could not have made it. This is an ecosystem that has come together to support us, and I hope that in the time ahead, we will be able to use this gift for health and joy for all. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And I just invite you, before we close, to take a moment to again connect with ourselves. Just check in with our body, our Annamaya Kosh, our energy, our Pranamaya Kosh, our mind and emotions, our Manomaya Kosh. Just see them. Get in touch with our inner wisdom, our Vijnanamaya Kosh, and our joy, the bliss that is fundamentally our nature, Anandamaya Kosh. And whatever, if anything resonated with you, whatever resonated with you, just ask yourself, what is one step that you wish to take to become more swasth, to be more established in yourself? And therefore to enable others also to be more established in their self. Okay, whenever you feel ready, open your eyes, and session is now done. Thank you.
So thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, I'm sure all of us are speechless right now. What we have been through this entire 45 minutes, it was really a great pleasure, and to know that these things are also going on, and one can introspect in their life whenever they feel low. Actually, there is a problem with the young youth. whenever they feel low, they just go out for something, adventurous they want in life. They go for travel, they go for vacation. They forget to introspect what can be done, or what is the misalignment, in your language I can say. What is the misalignment? So they fall lack of it. And everyone have this physical problem in their jobs or something, but they forget to do the alignment process. So really, you are doing a really great job. And the way you taught us that planting the seed, how it is important, then nurturing, then firmly rooting the tree, and all of us can give you a breakthrough through your karma, Gyan Yoga, Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga, and also the Bhakti Yoga. So it's really beautiful. And one thing I just heard it on some interview, I would just like to share. As you felt the back pain, and then you thought that it is some kind of misalignment. You went to institute, and there you got that this can be more of a deeper meaning to it, or you introspected on that. So a rich famous author, vision board expert, he is a Jack Canfield. He also quoted in one of his interview that he had a severe sciatica pain, and he was also in some kind of a job, and he had a sciatica pain, and he struggled through that to cure that, and he was doing it for 6 to 8 months. He was not able to do that. Then one of the the guided meditation expert just asked him to go through through in his life and see what is not working for him. And when he gone through that, and when he sorted the things out, he was free from that pain. So yeah, really I could connect over there. So it's really great to be able to do, in your life I can see, and this is really inspiring that you are able to do whatever you are asking for, and you are really working for it. Then it can be manifested in a really great way. So we have a few participants also who are thanking you. I just like to quote from them. First of all, yes, first is I guess Pushparaj ji. He said that thank you Garima ji for getting grounded before every session. So I guess this is your core aspect to basically. And then Milan Patel, he said thank you for a wonderful presentation, a lovely bird's eye view of a tremendous amount of work that has led to inspirational. Okay, he found it so inspirational. I'm sure who are with us right now, participants, any of you have any question, please come up and speak to our speaker. So you can put your questions on, please.
Thank you, Mansi. I just want to say that, I'm also inviting questions and insights. It's like you shared your insight, right? Because I don't want to give an answer. I think that is what grounding is around, finding our own answers. So I would also like to hear any insights, any answers that you are getting for your own self also.
Yeah, please come in. Yeah. Yes. Please go ahead, Bankin ji.
Namaste, Garima ji.
Namaste.
First of all, best wishes. I hope and wish that you spread this model to all, parts and corners. I would say not just India, probably around the globe. Again, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I liked, when you talk about inside, flipping the pyramid. Great concept. I hope that you are able to, you will be able to flip this pyramid everywhere. And the reason I mention is that if you can flip it, that right now you are like Mumbai, you talked about, opening, taking this model to Ahmedabad, right? Ahmedabad. But then if you flip that model, then one does not have to be in urban areas. Even in the most rural areas, this model will work, where you don't have to rely on, the second and the third and the highest, a top tier of the healthcare system. So great, absolutely marvelous.
Thank you, Bankim-ji. That's a wonderful insight. I think what you said around that, in fact, the whole purpose of urban cities coming together was because we believe we'll get services in urban places that are not accessible. And if that doesn't happen, then there will be a reverse migration, which I think also happened during COVID time. People recognize there is, such beauty and such so much back in our hometowns. And so, yes, a wonderful intention that you have set that, thank you.
Absolutely, very inspiring. And I mean, you don't have words to express, but true to your name, not just true to yourself, but you are getting true to your name as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So basically, I also felt that it is all the health is in our homes only, and we should go through our food, what we are eating. We should do a deep, we can not even deep. It can be a regular thing, but it really serves what we are eating and what is helping it out so that we can improve our health. So really great. So I would like now Vikas Chothe sir to take over the session. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would also invite, we have some of our, you can say, colleagues, and we have Mercedes all the way from South America. So I would like to know her views. She is having an experience of being in Ayurveda yoga for a tremendous amount of years, many decades, we can say. So I would request Mercedes ji also to express herself. She's there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vikas. Thank you very much, Dr. Garima. Sorry for not opening my camera. It's not working properly. I am very much motivated with your lecture, and immediately I began to search your webpage. And I would love to join your foundation, your organization, and work together with the joint view of Western and Eastern need. We need much to be working together. And so it was very inspiring. And actually, I am sending you a message. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mercedes. I think actually yoga owes its revival to the West. Much as we, engage in this debate, we would not be here on this global platform. This technology is facilitated by, what has happened in the West, and yoga has also come back to us. So absolutely, I think there is a lot to integrate. And by the way, our website, like many of our old videos, is dated. We focus a lot more on doing our work. We may not keep updating it on the website. So, please feel to reach out, feel free at any point of time. The website may not reflect what we're doing at any point of time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There's so much of work that updating the website at that pace would be more challenging. Absolutely. Reaching 1 billion people, it's absolutely a great thing. And I just feel parents in India, when they aspire their kids to be in IIT, because you have a lot of scope after you do IIT. I think they all should go through your session that we had today so that they understand what is the scope. It's not the 5-figure, 6-figure packages that we have to keep our kids pushing into. I think this is far more bigger and higher in the dimensions that what you are doing cannot be compared with what is being conveniently perceived by our parents when they feel their kids to be into IIT. This is the real purpose of why we have to have our kids in the highest institutions so that they can take an avatar. We have the concept in India of avatar. So who is an avatar? Avatar is the real person, the real attribute of success, where you not only reach the top and forget others who have helped you to reach the top, but the real avatar is to come down and help those people who actually helped you when you started your journey. So that's the idea which you are living compared to your peers. And definitely, I feel at some point of time, all the people who would be watching this particular program, maybe not live, but later on, whenever they come across this on YouTube or other platforms, definitely it will inspire them to make their life decisions. Thank you. So we will go to the official part, to the felicitation. Okay, just a second.
Everyone, please unmute yourself and we'll give a
express.
big round of applause to Garima ma'am. I request everyone to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. I think I just want to express gratitude to my father for enabling me to take these choices, and Sundeep also, who's been really such an instrumental role he played in setting Swasth up and then providing this opportunity for me to do this work. So, and to all of you, I think thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautifully done. Lovely.
Yes, absolutely. A big round of applause. With the COVID, we cannot be physically there to felicitate Garima ji, but technology given by great engineers like Garima ji have helped us to have platforms like Zoom. So through this, we would do a virtual felicitation, and definitely on behalf of the family, Swasti family, I would like to extend our support and all our yoga instructors and trainers. I would encourage all of them to join this program and be a part of this big movement that has been started by Sundeep ji, Garima ji, through Swasth initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a really inspirational story. And inspirational thing is because we are also doing the work and we know what challenges comes in between and how you solve this problem and go ahead with going ahead now with this journey. It's really wonderful and it's inspirational for each and every person who is listening here. So thank you so much for your inspirational journey, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very true.
I guess Sandeep ji raised his hand. So please, would you like to add some words? Please come up and say a few words.
I just, I didn't raise my hands, but I was clapping.
Yeah, so
Garima's side.
Yes, sir. Please.
It's okay. It's good to hear you, sir. Please.
Thank you. No, I think Garima's done a fabulous job of sharing her journey as well as what lies ahead and what we are trying to achieve. And like you said, we would love to have more and more people join this journey so we can serve more people. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for giving such a wonderful platform to us also.
Pleasure. And today itself, we were talking with Garima ji, and where we came to know about what mammoth and very innovative work that you all have been doing. So on this platform itself, I would extend an invitation for another program with Sundeep ji on a very new innovative topic on which he is working. I hope we will get an acceptance from you later. So thank you.
Thank you.
So now, yes, with this note, thank you, Garima ji, thank you, Sandeep ji, thank you, Vikas Chote sir and Shweta ma'am for this Global Yoga Festival under the concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam. So do join us on Facebook, Instagram. It is free. You can join it over there. You have a link over here. You can join into the Zoom session also. So for the next session, we have Sania Sohni. She'll be taking Yoga for Sportsmen, that is sportsmanship, endurance, positivity, self-control. Again, these are really beautiful topics. Will be taken next week, Saturday, and at 6 p.m. Indian time. So please do join us for this session. And we are really looking forward for these beautiful sessions as today to come up in the next time, coming times also. So thank you. Thank you on behalf of Swasti family. Thank you so much. Have a great evening ahead. Namaste.